Here's what happened with Gordon and Burton.
Well, I don't know about that.
Wow. Hard contact for the 24. And they're going to go and talk it out here. Oh, and this is... Well, we've got a fight breaking out.
Yeah, Jeff's not happy. Jeff Gordon not happy with what happened there.
Officials stepping in between, but this is far from over. I mean, there weren't even words exchanged.
Fault 100%. It was my fault. It's like once we got together, I couldn't get it off of him. I didn't mean to hit him. I made to pull up to him and tell him he was right because he was upset at me for what happened off turn 4. And I should have let him go because you can't see over there right now, and you don't need to be side by side. And you know, I don't blame him for being mad. I'd have been mad too.
Saving gas or just being conservative to stay on the wreck, and then we thought.
And there it is. One car goes sliding across the infield grass. William Byron, who won his qualifying race here on Thursday, and that will change everything.
Certainly has changed it for that exalted 24. Gets to the rear bumper, the 13, little surge of the 47. Oh, he gets to the left side of that rear bumper. And we've seen when you try to bump draft, you need to be either the center or to the right. Oh, it almost looked like Stenhouse was going to poke out and try to go by him and maybe misjudged it, made contact, turned William Byron right around. You know, those guys had so much anticipation after that great duel on Thursday. You know, you could just see as Ricky Stenhouse Jr. moved left, he just caught that left rear of the bumper.
Into the safer barrier that now lines the inside of this speedway as well as the outside.
Logano with a half a car length on him. Now here comes Carl back on the low side. Oh, Carl slips a little.
Come on, he's sideways.
Oh, come on. Now it gets Logano. Joey's into the bar and the car's upside down. On his side is Cliff.
Yellow's out, yellow is out, yellow is out.
Wallace gets into it. The 14 of Bliss gets into it. Red flag immediately.
Stop on the back. They want you to stop on the back.
They are stopping everyone on
he
the
got loose
backstretch.
or something. I just in the throttle. He got loose. I touched him, guys.
See, Carl got loose right there.
So did Joey.
Joey's
got
out.
loose.
Yeah, Carl never touched him right there. No, he never did.
Wow.
He thinks he did, but he didn't.
Yeah, no, he never touched him.
So when they see the video, but look what happens behind. Eric Almirola does not escape this one this time in the 88.
Yeah, so many good
Mike
cars
Bliss involved there.
Yeah, had a great run all day.
But Harvick still has a long way to go.
It's like
look out, Danica gets turned
hard.
Danica
On the
Patrick.
brake.
She was running 14.
Got a big wreck there.
Stenhouse is
Wheel
involved.
train scan.
The
Wheel train
10. Ricky Carmichael's involved.
Somebody got in the back of James Busher. Looks like maybe Carmichael, and then just forced him, Busher, into the 7. And then it just, man, it all breaks loose.
See, they're coming up to put him a lap down.
Ooh.
Oh, it looked to me like, you know, Quinn just came up a little bit more than what the 10 of Almirola was expecting, and they just touched and ended up turning him into the outside lane. That was a close call for our 10 of Eric Almirola also. Now those Fords had dropped to the back to try to stay clear of all this mess. And you see BJ nowhere to go, tries to avoid that wreck, and then he catches the outside wall.
11. Quinn Houff and B.J. McLeod. Trouble in the back straightaway.
Is Kyle leaving the car?
He had been cutting it. Big.
Casey Kane gets turned around. Greg Biffle involved. Mark Martin is there. No caution has come out. They're going to let him race back as Gordon piles in, and now the caution.
6. You knew that was going to be big when you saw the 9 coming back across the racetrack.
Watch, you see Casey Kane in the Budweiser car. He's going to make a run, and Allmendinger is going to take him all the way to the grass on the block.
Yeah, and I think Allmendinger, I think AJ felt like, okay, I'm this far down. He's not going to be there now.
And I mean, right in front of Mark Martin and Biffle. Who's that? Is that Truex in there?
See Mark pull out of his pit stall and nails a gas can that somebody must have pulled out of their pit stall with them when they left. Martin, good job trying to navigate around that. Did that do any damage? The
stall. There you see Chase Elliott, and there goes that gas can that Martin Truex.
Hard with the point battle the way it is. Harry Gant has been running super strong all day long in that Skull Bandit, and he's second place, just 60 points behind Terry Labonte. He needs to be out there. Trouble.
On its roof, Jerry Bowman's Ford. Lake Speed spins around coming down the backstretch, and he pounds into the wall and slides, just misses Bowman's car. Jerry Bowman, a slight young driver from Aberdeen, Maryland, has put that thing on its head coming down the back straightaway. On the scene quickly. And there it is. It's already over by the time we see it. It looked like it just got out of shape in turn 2 and just climbed up the retaining wall.
You know, as I mentioned when I took the people around the racetrack on that ride earlier, Mike, as you come off that second turn, if you get a little bit too high, it's like that wall reaches out and grabs you.
This final stop. 12 Chevrolets and Timmy Hill's Ford. Treble turn 4. One car.
Stenhouse Jr.
No caution. We stay green as Stenhouse makes it to pit road. Oh, here comes Jones. Whoa, huge run.
We talk about communication, and Eric Jones had no idea that the
in that inside line, the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Look at the hands on AJ Allmendinger. Up in the air goes the 42 of Kyle Larson. Caution comes out. And another contact. Matt Kenseth hits. The one of Jamie McMurray flying down pit road.
This is another great action shot right here. Watch this 42. Hits the wall, then gets pushed into the air by the 17. You see the roof flap open. The car sets back on the ground.
The 21 of Blaney, he's in the brakes. Just nothing you can do. Remember, Matt Kenseth, Casey Kane had got shuffled back. They got behind this wreck. Matt Kenseth did not get through it. Casey Kane did.
Trouble.
Correct. Here's the big one. Man.
Well, there goes half the field.
Sure does.
And it's Ryan Newman leading them around. Oh,
Jimmy Johnson hopes in his final Daytona 500.
Kurt Busch, another former Daytona 500 winner. Brad Keselowski trying to win it for the first time, all torn up. Bubba Wallace, Eric Almirola, one of the fastest Fords in this entire field. And here's Martin Truex, who couldn't get back to the lead pack.
You can see Joey Logano really aggressive to the rear bumper of the 10. He's going to push him all the way up to the 2. And they just, right before the 10 gets there, there's a little bit of movement. And that little bit of movement, when you make that much contact, turns your car right around. That's exactly what happened to Brad Keselowski and the 10 of Almirola. Sort of swaying back and forth right before he made contact with the 2. Hooks his bumper, turns him around.
Oh, he slammed Alex Bowman. And then it's on. And for the second time in less than a handful of years, Eric Almirola ends up being knocked out of riding with Jimmy Johnson, our Chevy cam.
Ooh. Just gets slammed. One of the cars loses control. I think that was Martin Truex Jr. Came down, made heavy contact with. Really, I mean, Eric Almirola was basically the meat between the sandwich there. He's getting pushed from Joey Logano. He's going up to the rear bumper. He has no choice but to bump draft the 2. All Brad can do is try to hold the steering wheel straight. I mean, this is just aggressive racing in the end of this race. Ross Chastain was having
8 to go.
Oh!
Crash in the back of the field.
Eric
2
Jones,
cars piled up there.
And Reed Sorensen, Timmy Hill.
Timmy Hill, who was 10th after the 20 laps run yesterday, and Reed Sorensen.
Sorensen goes to the middle. A lot of sparks out of that car. I think he cut a tire down.
Oh, it slid right up in front of Timmy Hill.
Yeah, anytime you see that types of sparks, it basically that tire has gone down, and now a car is lower down and riding on something.
I'm telling you. Oh, hang on, Jeff Burton.
Burton up into Hornish.
Oh, he's going to come back up.
And now the big one.
There it is.
7, 8, 9 cars involved, many which were running inside the top 10.
That's the whole field, isn't it?
That's the whole field.
Look at that. Nowhere to go.
And these guys were trying to avoid the two coming back up on the race.
He just goes diving down here after he gets clobbered by the 31. The 83, okay, this started already behind, but the 83 got turned.
But they see that going on in front of them, and they're all jockeying for position to avoid that. And it's that chain reaction accident. You know.
Boy, that was just textbook by Denny Hamlin. Can he put the block on? Oh, car. Oh, 77. That was Ross Chastain. Got down on the apron, turned him sideways up the racetrack.
Straight into Ryan Preece. And we have
involved.
Another multi-car pileup. With 2 to go, we'll go to overtime. There's the Connecticut Kids car.
Joey Logano.
Logano's got a flat left rear and trouble on the right front. Ty Dillon, 27 right here.
Well, I knew those cars were going to stall out. You can see right there, Ryan Preece sort of pushes Chastain down onto the apron. As soon as it gets down the apron, he loses control. And heavy impact to the 22 of Logano from Chastain. Car goes sideways. He tries to correct. You know, those kinds of impacts for Logano, it might not look at passenger side door goes in the wall. Those hurt.
That almost looks, Jeff, like the right rear went down with all those sparks and the car just took off.
I think the car, once he came up on the apron, the car just got a little sideways. He tried to correct, and it caught the banking and shot the nose over.
Through with minimal damage.
Ouch.
A Toyota cam. And we'll ride with Ross Chastain.
He had such a run. You're really at this stage in the race.
Way up the racetrack goes the 32, catches the 6, and around goes Justin Lofton, hits the 13 of Johnny Sauter. They crash right at the start-finish line, and they catch the 32 of Miguel Paludo.
Wow, that was a huge crash. Yeah. Miguel Paludo gets a little bit loose right there. Had a slow truck of Norm Benning ahead. Norm didn't do anything wrong. Miguel just got loose and wow, right into the side, almost flipped him over.
Yep. Yeah, Johnny was as far down on the bottom of the racetrack on the apron as he could be.
And a win the Daytona 500. Green flag.
Oh, cars got loose. Spun some tires. Contact. Is that Boyer?
And McDowell.
Oh, man.
And caution's out. We'll try it again. So here's Clint Boyer.
The 12 comes up to the rear bumper, the 6. Oh, actually, maybe it was Boyer had some contact from behind from the 34 of McDowell. Sent him up into Haley, actually. I knew they made contact. I wasn't sure where that contact came from. Ooh, we saw this the other night in the in one of the duels. Same, or was that the, maybe it's the Clash, but one of the similar things where they came to the line and spun the tires with a little bit of contact.
Ryan Newman, that was Ryan Newman spinning the tires, and William Byron.
Looks like Spencer Gallagher has another truck issue as he came to turn 3 on the last lap. See what happened. Racing alongside Reddick.
Cameron Haley on the outside. Oh, just gave Spencer Gallagher a shot in the back end.
You can see Haley's trying to get to the outside.
Watch the back of this truck when he gets air underneath it.
Remember, this is already the backup truck for the 23. They had to go to the backup in practice.
Speaking of the backup,
wow,
back of that truck up in the air.
You see the roof flap bouncing, but not coming up like it's supposed to.
Next flag will end the race, and Newman is there.
Newman's got locked onto his rear bumper just like he did. Oh, wrecking behind Chase Elliott around.
Spinning around,
no
still green.
Still green.
Still green, and here they come.
And here, not at all.
Ryan Newman off turn 4 for the final time. Blaney to the outside, to the inside. Here comes Hamlin up the outside.
Wow.
Crash into the wall, into the air goes Newman.
Upside down.
in a shower of sparks on his roof. Ryan Newman comes across the line, 4th, and comes to rest. Scoring unofficial between Hamlin and Blaney.
But now here comes a huge run by Ryan Blaney, being pushed by Denny Hamlin. He tries to go to the outside, then the inside. They lock bumpers and turns Ryan Newman around. Upside down he goes. Corey LaJoie coming along, making contact.
Just lifting Newman's car up and over. Ryan Blaney finishing 2nd. Blaney tried the top side, tried to get low. Ryan Newman goes around, and the car goes to its roof, and here's the on-rushing Corey LaJoie picking it up and over.